Ladies and gentlemen, we have built many LEGO Five Nights at Freddy's minifigures in the past. They're bloodthirsty animatronics. And with the release of FNAF 2, Mr. Fazbear and the gang here have gotten new fake LEGO animatronics. We're talking about Nightmare FNAF animatronics and other variants of the FNAF games.
I'm Nightmare Freddy and I'm in your head.
So today we're going to be unboxing every new FNAF Nightmare variant. Starting, of course, with Freddy here, who's got the little freddles on his chest there, the mini Freddy animatronics. Also, I was just super gluing things and I got a bunch on my fingers. Sorry about that. So we'll use the pull method instead to show these off. So we got Nightmare Freddy right here. And then we have Nightmare Chica. I don't know what's up with the eyes on Nightmare Chica here. I don't remember Nightmare Chica not having an eye or pupils. So I don't know if they just messed up the printing or what, but the teeth on the Chica are absolutely terrifying. This might be my least favorite of the Nightmare LEGO animatronics. This is Nightmare Foxy. I just don't think the figure looks all that great. The rest look really detailed and nice, but for some reason, Nightmare Foxy got done dirty. Someone in the comment section said, always with the Foxy not looking great. And I tend to agree. For some reason, whether it be figurines, plushes, LEGO minifigures, Foxy is always done dirty. Either way, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and my book, Army Men, Blight of the Empire, my light just fell down, is available now on Amazon. Link in the description below if you're interested. Now, before I forget, I also want to mention, this does come with a jack-o'-lantern, presumably, so you could make, like, Jacko-Chica, or whatever they call her, for the Halloween FNAF. But, yeah, they don't give you a head to put it on. I prefer Nightmare Chica. Oh, hubba, Chica. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, God. Okay, speaking of Chica, and who has the hots for Chica, Bonnie. We got Nightmare Bonnie. And fun fact, the creator of FNAF has actually said that Nightmare Bonnie is the only, or rather Bonnie in general, is the only FNAF animatronic that he has ever been scared of or like had nightmares of his own design. So we got Nightmare Bonnie here, and look, their eyes are normal. Why is Chica's eyes all messed up? I don't understand. Okay, now you guys are gonna have to help me out on this one, because I've played the FNAF games, I've watched the first FNAF movie, but I have no idea what this is. Is it Golden Circus, baby? I genuinely do not know what this is. Please tell me. But they're here. Just really weird. Cursed, if you will. Now this one might actually just be my favorite. Nightmare. Super spooky, man. Look at that. That is just a glorious FNAF minifig. I really like this one. Looks so dope. Nightmare gives me nightmares. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now this one, I think is supposed to be Nightmare Springtrap. Although I'm not totally sure. Maybe it's Plushtrap? I don't know. Again, let me know in the comments. But once again, with the eyes being totally messed up. Now, speaking of Springtrap, we do have good old William Afton here. I think this is actually just withered William Afton and not the Nightmare Springtrap, I believe. Does come with a little knife there. Beautiful. And we actually have a different version of him too. The way more cursed Springtrap. Look at those eyes. The way they stare into your soul. God, this one is creepy. The fake knockoff is 10 times scarier than the actual one, just purely because of the uncanniness of it. That is mortifying. Holy cow, dude. Absolutely spooktacular. Now we do have some other new FNAF minifigs beyond our Nightmare ones here. Let's check them out. So these next ones are going to be kind of a mix. We've got some of the Rockstar animatronics. So this is Rockstar Foxy here. Once again, kind of doing Foxy dirty. It just does not look that good in my opinion. Yeah, I hate to say it. We also have Rockstar Chica here. Oh, hubba hubba.
Stop. Seriously, stop.
And this one actually has a really good-looking Cupcake. Cupcake is one of those figures that they just mess up in a lot of these fakes, but this one is good. And we have another Balloon Boy variant. We have just about a bajillion Balloon Boy variants at this point. They, like, desperately need to chill on making Balloon Boys. We have, like, 8. Now, these ones I'm a little confused about. I believe they're withered toys of Bonnie, I think? I'm not totally sure. I think they're withered toy versions of FNAF animatronics. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys do know, because I'm a little confuzzled by these fellas here. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2, all of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Our animatronic army grows. You also have another new Endo. I always like Endo. I don't know why. I think he's cool. I think he looks cool. So there's that. Now we also have Glam Rock Freddy here from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. So this is truly a mixed lot of FNAF minifigures. They just are throwing anything at the wall with this next lot, but it's cool to see the Security Breach Freddy in here as the guy who kind of helps out the kid in that game. He's kind of the main character, I guess you'd say, and not one I'd ever really expect Lego to make. Like a fake Lego of Glam Rock Freddy is kind of random to me, but okay. And then finally, we have a, I think this is a sister location Chica, isn't it? Absolutely wild. They make the most Chicas, I think. Like, you'd think they'd make the most Fredbears? Nah. Whoever makes these is really obsessed with Chica. Now, finally, they actually released a revamped version of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie minifigures. So these ones are based off of the FNAF movie, and we've actually purchased them before, but they've added more detailing to them through like the legs and things like that. So we've got Freddy Fazbear here, of course, the classic, and this might be the only time they've ever done Foxy justice. This is the only good-looking Foxy I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh no, he's hot!
There you go, Foxy. Justice for Foxy has been served. We love to see it. We also have the Yellow Rabbit here, which is just such a good-looking minifigure. Yellow Rabbit is such an interesting character. I love that minifigure of it. It just looks so good. We also have another Chica. How many Chicas do we need? This is just movie-accurate Chica and movie-accurate Cupcake, and they really are movie-accurate. They look really good. These are some of the best fakes I think ever made for Five Nights at Freddy's Lego. We also have the Golden Freddy here. Beautiful Golden Freddy. Love to see. Okay. I accidentally threw Bonnie. My bad, Bonnie. And here's Bonnie Bunny. Maybe the least creepy looking, actually, of this gang. Nice. And it also comes with the kid. I forget her name in the movie, I'll be completely honest. But we do have Mike here. Very nice. So these are all of the new FNAF figurines that have come out alongside the FNAF 2 movie. Of course, whenever a new movie comes out, AliExpress, their Chinese factories just start churning out new minifigures of whatever the new popular movie is. So we have been blessed with a multitude of brand new Lego Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics. And I have to say, the Nightmare ones, still the spookiest. I really like these Nightmare ones. They look so good. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. It is Halloween, and a whole army of horror monsters has been unleashed against the Lego City trick-or-treaters.
Oh no!
There are animatronics come to life, killer clowns, and demons from other dimensions. Can the Special Forces operatives manage to defeat the Halloween monster army? Or will they die trying? Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. We're shooting for 300k subscribers. And stay till the end for a Halloween giveaway. Now let's build the largest monster army ever in Lego. It is Halloween in Lego City, and the kids are out and about trick-or-treating in their Halloween costumes. Dressed up as Freddy Krueger, Batman, Beetlejuice, the guy who was killed by the xenomorph giving birth in his stomach, Angry Birds pig, and so many more Lego City Halloween costumes. It's both a jovial and terrifying night for all.
That is scary.
And one person in particular is ready to get his candy on. Despite being a 35-year-old man, Jeff has arrived to trick-or-treat. And he's going as a corn. Everyone knows corn is the best Halloween costume. And after a long night of stealing children's Halloween candy, or I mean trick-or-treating.
But why?
Why would you do that?
Jeff stumbles in to a quiet, small graveyard. He checks out some of the tombstones, like Emmett here, R.I.P. Chris Pratt. And then he wanders into the back of the lot, unzips his pants, and let her rip. He drank a little too much cerveza cristal. He finished up desecrating some graves, and that's a big no-no in pretty much every culture. So all of a sudden, the Grim Reaper appeared in the graveyard. He was instantly disgusted by Jeff's desecration of the graves. He tried to explain to Jeff why this was disrespectful. Jeff just didn't understand. The Grim Reaper became frustrated, so he decided to enact revenge. Seeing as Jeff was dressed as corn, the Reaper thought it fitting to spawn in the children of the corn. The children of the corn army swarmed Jeff rigorously until the Grim Reaper had taken his revenge. But he was far from satisfied. He took to walking around the Lego City streets, and because it was Halloween and everybody was in costume already, they didn't notice the strange gangly Skeletor creature. He was disgusted by their portrayals of the dead, so he decided to exact more revenge on all of the Halloween goers, turning their costumes into real monsters. He started with a pair taking trick-or-treaters out, dressed as Joy Byers and Chief Hopper from Stranger Things. They also had Dustin, Mike, Will, Lucas, and 11. In front of them, 3 Demigorgons suddenly spawned in, and they wasted no time. They quickly pounced on the Halloweeners, attacking. They rampaged through part of the group, attacking the members, while the others could only look on in horror. And then, a cold presence was felt. Vecna had also appeared in the neighborhood. He ferociously lashed out with his multiple tendons, and then he built a super Gorgon. From the underworld, a Demigorgon the size of a skyscraper is summoned by the Grim Reaper. It clutches the Joyce Byers Halloween cosplayer in its meaty claws and gets ready to absorb her in his flowery mouth, when suddenly it gets hit by a rocket and tumbles, crashing into the civilian houses below. A military Humvee has descended onto the Lego City streets. They were initially called in when the police stumbled upon an army of corn people. The chief of police had quickly radioed this in, and thusly, the MTF of the SCP Foundation quickly mobilized. The top machine gunner quickly sprayed down Vecna and the remaining Demigorgons. They were swiftly taken down, but not before havoc was wreaked upon the small town. The Reaper had observed all of this from the distance. He was not pleased. Instead of fleeing, he decided he would find more trick-or-treaters and wreak more havoc on Lego City. The MTF would have their work cut out for them tonight. The Grim Reaper then found a group of teens walking through a city park. They were going to enjoy some of their candy, away from parental supervision. The Grim Reaper hid behind a tree and thought about what he might summon to spook them, when he noticed that a police officer was also patrolling the park, making sure no one got up to any shenanigans. The Reaper knew he had to overwhelm him, so he summoned a skeleton army.
Oh my god!
A demonic army of old medieval knights sworn to the Reaper. The cop, terrified, pulls out his pistol. But the skeletons just draw closer. The teens quickly hide behind the police officer, and he fires off, eliminating one of the skeletons, but the rest quickly overwhelm him. Soon, the skeleton warriors are approaching the fake skeleton costume, when the MTF arrives, drawn by the sound of gunfire. The incredibly weak skeleton warriors are shot to bits in seconds. The teens quickly run away, covered by the fire from the MTF, but not before the Grim Reaper takes inspiration from the Spectre and the Pharaoh. He will summon another army. So let's assemble them for him from the underworld. The Grim Reaper has spawned in an army of shackled ghouls, assisted by mummies, born once again from ancient Egypt. MTF agents attempt to fight back. knocking down the front wave. But the flight mummies hit them at Mach speed, destroying the MTF agents. A pair of teens dressed as Harry Potter and Ron Weasley witness what just went down. They turn to flee, but the Grim Reaper has a special surprise. He is a very big fan of Harry Potter, specifically the second movie, where Aragog the spider is. He summons his own Aragog. The Spider King hath been awakened, and he wastes no time, shooting webs from his butthole.
I'm out, man.
And the more that these two wiggled against Aragog's webs, the more trapped that they became. Aragog's spider children began to crawl all over the Harry Potter impersonators. But the Grim Reaper had a heart. He despawned Aragog and decided to just leave the two Harry Potter impersonators there for a while, with little buggies crawling on them.
A few moments later.
An MTF soldier arrived and went through the arduous process of freeing these two dummies. Meanwhile, the initial MTF responders continued to patrol the streets. This is who the Reaper really has beef with now. And he sees a boy dressed as the colossal titan from Attack on Titan hiding in the bushes. For you see, the initial trick-or-treaters have now been warned that something is up, and mass panic has set in. So the Grim Reaper gets an idea from this hiding titan. He wants to spawn his own. The various titans appeared in Lego City. The MTF immediately opened fire, but the bullets had virtually no effect on these giant behemoths. And then the Beast Titan charged, slamming into the Humvee. The vehicle's engine burst into a roaring fire, and the MTF lost one of their most valuable assets. Around this time, an SCP supply truck arrived in the city. Crewmen began to unload supplies from the back of the cargo truck. Other MTF agents began to round up the costumed kids, forming a defensive perimeter to keep them safe from any more SCPs that the Grim Reaper spawns. On another part of town, the Reaper had tracked a group of teenagers to the gates of the old asylum. He knew they must be up to no good in there, terrorizing the spirits that haunted the place. So he decided to terrorize them a little bit. They were dressed as the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's. And they were currently playing with the old abandoned lab equipment. Suddenly, the Reaper appeared, screaming at them with his ghoulish face. They quickly ran for the exit of the asylum, but once they got outside, lurking in the dead of night would be their worst nightmare. Full-sized animatronics were waiting for them, summoned by the Grim Reaper himself. And in an instant, they lurched forward, their steel traps closing, trapping the kids inside of the animatronic puppets. The Grim Reaper would keep the kids inside of the dolls for the rest of the night, until they'd learn their lesson. As the Grim Reaper headed back to deal with the MTF, he stumbled upon a kid cosplaying as the Joker.
I'm the Joker, baby.
The two looked at each other for a second, and the kid complimented the Reaper's costume. This really ticked off the Reaper. He spawned this kid's worst nightmare: a 100-foot statue of killer clowns from outer space. The kid promptly fainted, and the clown had done his dirty work, along with Baby Clown. At this point, the MTF's forward operating base was fully set up. They had a strategic stationing area, supplies and guards, as well as their protective circle. The Grim Reaper approached. He was ready to put the real fear into the MTF and those that were mocking the spirits of the dead. He noticed a young lady dressed as Poison Ivy. That gave him the perfect idea. A giant carnivorous plant. It snapped its jaws hungrily and lunged, picking up an MTF soldier and devouring him whole. While the soldier was digested, another approached, planting an explosive at the base of the flower.
Bomb has been planted.
All that remained after the explosion was charred up ash. The Grim Reaper decided to try again, this time going bigger. He spawned in his largest beast yet, a gigantic, carnivorous, humanoid flower monster. It made the earth tremble just by existing. But this was no big deal to the MTF's Flame Soldier. The beast was on fire and came crashing to the ground, burning up and adding to the ash pile and flames on the ground. The Grim Reaper was surprised, but he really shouldn't have been. The MTF was trained exactly for anomalies like this. But then the Reaper spotted Leatherface, and the fake chainsaw gave him an idea. He would summon the monster with the head of a chainsaw and his small friend, who was also a chainsaw. The beasts towered over houses and the Grim Reaper himself. The costumed teenagers and kids trembled with fear, but an MTF soldier came out with an RPG and let her rip. Chainsaw Man's head had been ripped off in one fluid explosion. At this point, the Grim Reaper was seething. He was going to pull out all the stops. No more of these cutesy gimmicks from the costumed kids. He was going to be pulling in demons from their nightmares. Ten-eyed tentacle monsters, demonic arachnids, cyclopses, poisonous millipedes, nightmare totems, voodoo dolls, netherworld demons, and many more unspeakable monsters. The costume children fled as quickly as they possibly could, and the MTF soldiers could only stare in shock as their worst nightmares descended around them. But suddenly, a force appeared. Majesto, the good wizard, had come. Hearing the Grim Reaper was up to his old tricks once again, a great light beacon shined from his staff, and the monsters from beyond vanished from whence they came. The Grim Reaper was very familiar with this old man. They'd tangoed many times before. But out of Majesto's hand came a Snickers bar. He held it out, offering it to the Grim Reaper, who took it and finally had himself a Halloween treat. And suddenly, this all seemed silly to him. He just wasn't himself when he was hungry. And the desecration of graves, well, he could get over that. Yo, thanks for watching, guys. Today's giveaway, we're going to be giving away the PD Piranha Plant, the Golden Freddy Fazbear, and the Killer Clown for Outer Space, along with a small pile of the Grim Reaper's army of mummies, skeletons, and ghosts. All you gotta do to enter is hit the like button, subscribe with notifications turned on, and comment down below what you're going to be for Halloween this year. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace! When we built every single Five Nights at Freddy's Lego minifigure, there were some cursed ones to say the very least. Like, the difference between these two Foxies is night and day. And I don't even think the one on the left is that good, but the one on the right is just that bad. So today we're going to be saying sayonara to the terrible FNAF minifigs and upgrading the best minifigures in the army to terrorize our boy Mike here. Now, here's the thing. I've still not seen FNAF 2. I was supposed to go the other day and ended up not being able to see William Afton returning. Please no spoilers in the comments. Now let's get into this video, baby. First off, I do want to upgrade Mike here. I feel like his current getup is not conducive to fighting animatronics possessed by dead children. Now, in the first movie, Mike is given a tactical belt from the police storage with some equipment to take on the animatronics, including nice little cattle prod there that we'll give him. And instead of his regular flashlight, let's give this boy a nice blicky.
Upgrades, people, upgrades. That's how we make the dough.
A 9mm with a tactical flashlight underneath. So now he's ready to cook, more or less. Now, as for the animatronics we're gonna have him fighting, here's my FNAF box with this guy. Chica is a little terrifying here.
I'm in danger.
But again, I have a ton of minifigures, some great, some absolutely terrible. So I'm going to be picking out the best of the bunch in here to use in our FNAF mock that we're building. No slop today.
6.5 hours later.
Alright, I picked out the best of the best. We've got Chica here, Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and the Golden Rabbit, of course. Man, we need to get the Nightmare series in here. Then we can sing the Nightmare Freddy song, which is a certified bop.
Oh I'm Nightmare Freddy and I'm in your head. I'm Nightmare Freddy and I'm in your bed.
Either way, what I want to do is create like kind of a house of horrors for these guys. Particularly, I want to do the room in FNAF 1, which is basically like filled with all of the doll parts and animatronic parts that make up the FNAF animatronics, and have them converting another soul into another animatronic. So obviously we got Springtrap here, and we're gonna give him a very sharp blade from Eclipse Graphics, and then we're gonna give the others like little tools. Like here's a saw from bricktactical.com, and they're going to be, you know, cutting up some dolls and things like that within our house of horrors to convert them into themselves. And we also have a nice little table here, because in the movie we see the security guard getting strapped down to the table and converted into a Freddy Fazbear essentially. So we'll put that down too. But we need to go ahead and actually build our room. So we've got our base plate here and our big box of masonry bricks that we'll use to build the room. So let's go ahead and time lapse the room building to build the upgraded animatronics. Alright, we got our little puppeteering room here. Beautiful. We are going to want to have our chair in the very center there. And why don't we take our old security guard and we can have him being operated on. We can have a small pool of blood kind of dripping out, if it will fit. These are so hard to get to fit on the Lego, but they do technically. You just gotta find the sweet spot.
That's what she said.
It's right there. There we go. Beautiful. Alright, so that'll be right there. Now, I want to have Springtrap kind of looming over him menacingly, and then Chica with her saw will be doing the operation there. And then the nice thing we can kind of do with these extra heads, here's a withered Freddy, is we can kind of put them around, laying around like the shop is actually being used as a shop, except they're just putting people into the puppets instead. So with that in mind, we need to go ahead and create some added area around here, maybe some barrels, some work tables, etc., etc. So let me go ahead and put that down real quick. Okay, there we go. So we've got some crates in here, some, you know, baskets, and a nice little operating table over there. So we can go ahead and, like, for example, put the rest of the Freddy animatronic body on the operating table for when the head is attached. Can take another Freddy here and, you know, put the head in there and put a toy Bonnie in there too. Why not? And then we can toss their bodies inside of our big barrel, and then we can put about half of a Foxy over this way and the other half of his legs right next to him there, and we'll put a additional golden bunny, golden rabbit, just off to the sides leaning there. So this is turning into a true house of horrors. Beautiful. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2, all of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. But now, we need to have our upgraded Mike kind of coming in to the House of Horrors. So we'll have him approaching and being like, oh, shoot, that's the guy I replaced on the job. And let's have him fighting against Foxy here, who's coming in with his hook. And then, by the way, on the right here, I want to have Bonnie working on the animatronic body over this way. And then finally, we'll also have Freddy here. I think we need to give Freddy a knife. So how about this Eclipse Graphics one here? And let's actually have him poised with it coming downward against our boy Mike here. Beautiful.
Hey, that's pretty good.
So this is our FNAF workshop here, where the FNAF animatronics have been caught going after a security guard there and transforming him into a Freddy. And you know, there's plenty of animatronic parts just kind of all laying around, ready to be utilized in this little project that Mr. Afton has going on. And Mike is walking in, facing Foxy and Freddy with his electrical prong and gun.
Oh, hell no!
Which again, I'm not sure the gun will really do anything against them, but hey, the electronics rod will, hopefully. Well guys, that's going to be about it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more in the future. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers, so be sure to subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Previously in LEGO Five Nights at Freddy's, our security guard was being turned into an animatronic after being captured by Foxy and Chica. And don't forget Cupcake. Never forget Cupcake. This was all witnessed by our boy Mike here, who, instead of doing the normal horror movie thing and taking on the enemies all on his lonesome, he instead opts to make a call on his walkie-talkie. A call to the police station. Now sadly, in doing so, he attracted William Afton, dressed as the Yellow Rabbit and with a knife at the ready to stab. So Mike had to run away and hide before the killer comes and finds him. And while he's hiding, our good friends at the FBI here realize the threat they're facing, and they decide maybe they need to go ahead and call in the SWAT team forces. So let's go ahead, get our SWAT team assembled. Skirt, skirt, pulling up in the SWAT truck, baby. Let's pile them out.
A few moments later.
Alright, so first we've got our FBI agents here, equipped with lighter weapons. We got a P250 here, an MP9 over here for her, and a Glock with underbarrel laser sight for this boy. Then we've got our breach team, SWAT troopers with tactical masks as well as canisters of tear gas and things like that, plus close quarters, riot shield, baton, etc. Not that it'll do much good against animatronics, however, they don't know that, so could be rough. We then have our standard tactical assault troopers, you know, some marksmen in there and riflemen, etc. More or less the backbone of our SWAT team here, ready to breach and clear. But then finally, we're going to have our heavier assault units here as well, the boys with heavier armor, and honestly the boys who probably have the highest possible survival rate of this whole mess. So let's go ahead and get our SWAT team attacking Fazbear's Pizzeria. They're going to have multiple different entrance points. The first, of course, is going to be the front door, where our breach and clear team will be knocking. And cracking this thing open. And once they breach, the doors swing inward. So I think we should have our boys, you know, just sort of waltzing in through the dark corridor here, and then have Withered Bonnie as well as Endo here behind the doors, coming out to jump these suckers. They're not gonna know what hit them. Now, some of the other SWAT team members might already be in. We do have the security desk up here, which is currently not being monitored. So I feel like the FBI investigative team, it would make sense for them to be in here monitoring the whole situation. However, they didn't seal the doors. I mean, power was gonna run out anyway, so how could you? So let's have our two FBI agents reacting, one of them getting stabbed here by Fredward as the animatronics bum rush them. Let's Let's also have Foxy here since he is the fast animatronic, alongside Freddy attacking the FBI agents, and this guy's pistol is resting on the security cam, so he is not at the ready to help his fellow agents who are getting skewered by a hooked man and stabbed. So no bueno right there, no bueno at all. Now I think it would make sense for some units to be coming up through the roof here, you know, breaching clear, but I think we should have it so some animatronics realized they were going to be climbing up the roof, scaling the wall, and I think we should have them getting pushed down by said animatronics. So the SWAT team up here not having a good time. Now of course we do need the rope that they were using to scale up here as well. We should wrap that around this guy. It's always a little tough getting them to stick, but that works. Oh no, hold on, bro fell. There we go. He's mostly climbing up, and actually you could see through the window there Foxy killing one of his fellow agents, so he's seeing from the outside in that things are not going super well for him. Oh hell no! Our agents up here, I want one of them getting pushed by Toy Chica. Imagine you just finished summiting a large climb and a massive animatronic comes and pushes you off the wall. Yeah, terrifying. Plus, let's have Circus Baby on the other one. Sister location. Heck yeah, boy. All right, is she coming out? They're pushing the SWAT team agents off of the roof. Beautiful. And why don't we also have Funtime Foxy here? Mischievous little scamp. We'll give him a saw, and he will be up here sawing the rope so the other guy's gonna fall as well. Rip my dudes. It's tough out here. Now we do have our robotics room here where some horrible things are still going down, and I think we should have it so my boy Mike hath been captured. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2, all of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Let's go ahead and we'll take this guy's head off and replace it with Toy Bonnie there, and Chica and Cupcake can be in charge of that. A whole mess that's going on. But now we need William Afton here with his very large blade, and we're gonna have him going up against our boy Mike. We'll have Mike kind of like cornered here, and William Afton slowly coming after him, you know, getting real close. Maybe he's doing a little antagonist speech type beat, you know. But then I want to have it so our boys, the heavy assault team, are actually entering. So let's have our first guy here breaching. Very nice. Then let's have this dude here who is like absolutely terrified. He's also lost an arm. And we'll have him on the ground, and we'll have it so maybe Golden Freddy bit his hand off. It's the bite of 25. It doesn't sound good as the bite of 87.
Was that the bite of 87?
So he is basically going to be getting attacked by this boyo. But none to worry. We got this guy here with the MP7. We'll have him kind of assaulting this way. Beautiful, beautiful. And then we'll have our other SWAT unit back here. This guy is fully tack geared out. Like, this guy is insane. Going up behind to try and put a bullet in the back of Golden Freddy here. Now, once again, I do want, since this is the workshop area, to sprinkle a few additional just sort of like heads and things around, since I always think it adds to the aesthetic a little bit. So yeah, we'll put some extra animatronic body parts and heads and things like that all around. And basically, we've got Chica finishing the operation on the security guard. Mike is over here cornered by William Afton, who is kind of glancing to the side like, oh shoot. And Golden Freddy is taking on 3 different SWAT team heavy armored troopers at once. And he's taken one down. He's about to finish the job while this guy is playing hero with his 9mm going after Cupcake. Not Cupcake. By the way, guys, my book Army Men Blight of the Empire is officially released on Amazon. Link link in the description below, or just search up Army Men Blight of the Empire. It took a long time to write. I think you'll like it if you enjoy this channel. Do it. With the FNAF horrors that are happening across the battlefield here, I think we need to have a good solid contingency plan. And I think maybe what has happened is this police officer who has spent all of his rounds, you can see his Sidan Toys pistol is clicking empty. He's bandaged. He's not looking good. He's seen the horrors that happen inside of Fazbear's Pizzeria. And I think he should plant explosives on the outside of the building just in case things, you know, just continue to get worse for the SWAT team inside. He can just blow the whole place up. But first, I need to find my C4 in this massive pile of Lego military gear. Yeah, this is my current Lego table. It's a little bit of a disaster. People ask me about the background. It's bad.
I'm the trash man.
I am in a state of constant disorganization. I'll spend an entire day cleaning all this up, getting it all put away, and then I'll have to record like 4 videos and it just explodes again. But let me go find that C4 real quick. Here we go. Finally found our bricktactical.com nitro cell. This beauty can slide right in there into the wall. And then let's give him also a bricktactical.com huge shout out. They are legends. Pair of pliers. So, you know, he can kind of connect that to the door and make it go boom. Beautiful. Well, guys, what do you think of FNAF versus SWAT team? In the lore of FNAF, who do you guys think would genuinely win? I mean, I don't think we've ever had the police raid FNAF before, right? I still haven't seen FNAF 2, so maybe there's a SWAT team raid in that. However, I kind of doubt it. But I kind of think the animatronics would win. I mean, like, electricity works against them. Bullets, they eventually would work against them, but it would just take a lot of them, I think, to shut down an animatronic. So I'm not entirely sure. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. This is our boy, Mike. Mike currently started working a new security job inside of an old abandoned amusement restaurant. And inside the animatronics, they act a little bit funny. Mike spends his nights in the security office watching videotapes and making sure the animatronics stay where they're supposed to be. There were some previous security guards who didn't do the job super well, let's just say. But for our boy Mike here, the job's going to be even harder because he's going to be fighting against every single Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. I went on AliExpress and purchased this massive box of every single FNAF animatronic and character. And today we're going to be unboxing all of them. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel. Now let's begin. First of all, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Freddy Fazbear. And these are honestly really nice molds of these figures. They've been on sale for a very long time. There's a bunch of different editions of them. But I think we should start our little animatronics here at the security desk. And let's have this security guard who clearly has been having a very bad night at Freddy's. But what if we gave him a gun? Beautiful. However, it's out of bullets, so he's probably cooked.
Come on, man.
We're gonna have our boy on the ground here, and let's have the OG cast of FNAF coming after him. Not only are we gonna have Freddy here, we've also got Chica, as well as the cupcake. Very nice. Look, Chica got them evil Sith eyes kind of going on. Here we can have the cupcake like mogging this man. And then Chica can be in the way back. Then we of course also have Foxy here, who might be one of the most terrifying boys in Five Nights at Freddy's the original because he was so fast. And then of course Bonnie here with his guitar, and we're gonna have him just like lunging at our boy. We're ready to finish him off pretty much. So that's kind of the main cast of the original Five Nights at Freddy's, but then this lot of fake Five Nights at Freddy's minifigures has so much more. Let's head back upstairs here where we got Mike, and we've of course got the rabbit, the yellow rabbit, aka William Afton. How about we have him behind Mike here, just kind of threateningly looming.
He's just standing there, menacing. menacingly.
We also have the withered, crepit version of him here. This one I think is actually based off of the movie costume, which the new movie is coming out in a few days. I am very hyped. And then we got the golden Freddy, baby. We're just gonna start surrounding these people with the animatronics. So Mike is gonna have witnessed a murder. We actually have 2 golden Freddys of this guy standing backwards on the chair. Maybe they've frozen in place as to not get caught, and Mike's like, what happened here? Why are there animatronics looming over this dead security guard? Oh, we've got another golden Freddy here. This one is, wow, significantly worse quality. Look at that. It is just pure yellow, way less detailed. These guys are 10 times better than this one. But we'll add him to the mix anyway, I suppose. Now, in FNAF, they do like to strap people down into chairs in the movie and turn them into FNAF characters. Terrifying. I didn't like that scene. So we're gonna take another little security guard and put him in this chair and have him be attacked. Now, since he's going to be becoming one of these puppets, why don't we go ahead and have Endo here, making it happen. Now, this is, of course, the FNAF character that is just, you know, his Springtrap and robotics animatronics underneath with no actual cloth or whatever made up on top of him. We've also got another one here who's more of like plain, and you can see they did black and then just his stripes there to show that like it's just the metal, and then the black is supposed to be just empty space. But I do think this one looks better. We'll have both though. And there we go, setting them up to kill a dude.
Nice.
Ah, very nice. But let's also have the Balloon Boy. He's just gonna be watching, as always, watching, learning, having a good time. We actually have a few different versions of him. This one has balloons. Lovely. Have him watching in this corner in the cuck chair. Then we've also got this one, which is like the worst version. This one does not look very good. I'll be completely honest. That one's kind of poo. That's all right. He'll be watching from here. And we have our best version, which is this Balloon Boy. He's got the balloon sign, but it actually looks good. And then he's got his balloon and actually pretty decent minifig right there. So we'll have the Balloon Boys all watching as this poor security guard gets turned into an animatronic by Endo. Incroyable. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2, all of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alright, now we find ourselves at some sister locations here in Five Nights at Freddy's, where we have some additional minifigure characters. Now these guys I'm a little bit less familiar with. I mainly know the original Five Nights at Freddy's cast. This is Circus Baby right here, which I guess kind of looks like Taylor Swift. I don't know. And then we additionally have the Fun Time Five Nights at Freddy's variant. So here's Fun Time Freddy right here. For me personally, I don't love these versions of the characters. They're not scary to me. They're just kind of like corny looking. I do think it's nice that they made, you know, different eras of FNAF characters, because obviously the history of Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria spans multiple decades if you go into like the lore videos, but still not the biggest fan of these guys. And we do have Fun Time Foxy here as well. Again, I just think they look weird. They're not scary to me is the problem. We actually have another Fun Time Foxy right here, which has the eye patch this time around, which looks a little bit worse than this Fun Time Foxy minifigure, so not my favorite, but that is okay. We also have another one of the Circus Babies, and this one is a lot higher quality than this one back here. As you can see, it just much better looking version. Oh, also comes with the security puppet here. This one is terrifying. The mask on this bad boy, creepy. Yeah, that's some spooky design. Now with this one, I think it's Golden Fun Time Freddy, I think. correct me if I'm wrong on any of these. Again, I know the original FNAF a lot better. Oh, then we've got Mike here. The original security guard Mike, not the movie Mike. Who I believe is William Afton's son, right? And then the circus baby, I think, is his daughter trapped in an animatronic? And then I think this is supposed to be Purple Guy, who is William Afton. At least, if I recall correctly. I could be totally wrong. Oh, we've also got Lolbit here, but they're missing an arm. And I just looked through the entire box. We don't have an arm for Lolbit here, so rip. So these are all of the weird, quirky, fun time, Five Nights at Freddy's type beats here. These ones aren't my favorite, and you can tell that some are made better than others in Lego. Well, fake Lego. It's funny how there's like really well-made ones and then really poorly made ones, but they end up like costing the exact same on AliExpress almost every time. Well, with that, why don't we head indoors and check out the remainder of our FNAF minifigs. Now, we have a lot more Foxies and things like that. This one's a pretty low quality one, but not quite as low quality as this one. This one is absolutely horrendous.
Wow.
Wow, they didn't do a good job with this guy. Oh, and our other low quality one lost his hook. Hold on. This guy's legs keep coming off. This is poorly made. Get in there. There you go, Fox. There you go. Put the hook back on our guy here. Very nice. And then we have maybe the lowest quality of all the Foxies, and I'm wondering if they just forgot to print his front. But yeah, this is just like terrible. They did a bad job with that Foxy. All right, let's move on to another room here, and we can go over the Chicas. Now this Chica here, I think this is supposed to be Toy Chica, right? Or maybe it's just regular Chica. No, I think it's Toy Chica. I don't know. Definitely regular Chicas. I do think that is Toy Chica. And they got their cupcakes. Adorable. What's not so adorable is the cursed Chica. They couldn't even give her a cupcake. They just built it out of Lego. Look at those eyes. They look like they've seen hell. What a terrifying Chica. Wow. But we ain't done. We've got another Toy Chica here. This one's pretty scary looking, but really nice quality. And then we have another Chica. This one's very, very high quality. This one did come with the regular cupcake, but I don't know where it is. And then, maybe the worst Lego Chica of all time. Look at this. Oh, it's atrocious. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, go away now. There's a lot of friggin' Chicas, dude. And then we got the Chica with the OG cast still in here. Why do we have so many Chicas? We also have a lot of variants of our boy Bonnie Bunny, Chica's lover. So we got like the regular one. Looks fine. Then we have the withered Bonnie Bunny, which is honestly horrifying. That one is good. That is a good minifig right there. We have another just standard Bonnie Bunny there. Might be literally the exact same. I think it is. I think it's literally the exact same as the first one there. But then we have another withered one. This one a little bit darker of a blue there, and he's pretty decrepit. He's got a lot more of his electronics showing and stuff like that. And then in a similar blue vein, we have the movie version of Bonnie Bunny here, whose ear snapped off very sadly. But this is a good looking one. This one is very high quality, I will say. Very nice. Now, these ones, I believe, are toy Bonnie Bunny. And once again, some are better than others. And we have one final one right here. Magical. Love it. A lot of Bonnie Bunnies too, man. And not only that, we also have these little hand puppet Bonnie Bunnies. And the weirdest thing about these guys is this is not... Oh, that one's arm fell off. The little stick that they're on is not large enough to actually go into a, minifigure hand. It doesn't stay, and it also won't go into like standard Lego pegs like this table here. You can't stick it into this. It doesn't fit in that either. So I don't really know what you're supposed to do with these little hand puppets.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
But that's okay, because finally we've got our Freddys. So we got our standard Freddy. He looks pretty good here. Then we have like a worse version of Freddy, just lower quality minifig. We also have like a little bit more of a cartoony version. That might be Toy Freddy, honestly. I think that is Toy Freddy. Then we have the movie Freddy here, just a little bit more realistic. And then Withered Freddy. But this is just an atrocious looking Withered Freddy. Really bad looking. Not high quality at all. Just Complete letdown. Now, we also have this. I have no idea who this is. I'll be completely honest. I'm not entirely sure what bear this is. So let me know in the comments. But finally, two of my favorites. We have the William Afton decrepit, withered yellow rabbits. And these ones are the stuff of horror, literally. They're terrifying, these two. I don't like these at all. They are spooky. I mean, I like how spooky they are, but they give me the chills. These ones are creepy, man. So, we have gone through a ton of FNAF minifigures. Like, an insane degree of fake Lego Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm curious if you guys are going to see FNAF 2. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below if you are going to see FNAF 2. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace!